My name's Larry, aka Semidad. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Conquering Esterlon. I hope you're all well. I hope you're enjoying the series so far. I know we've had a great week, whatever you've been up to. We are back on the Esterlon profile, and things have changed a little bit, as you can see. So we spoke briefly about it in the last episode. We were having some issues with the Mack. The brakes were hypersensitive, which I tried to sort my settings out a little bit, and it really wasn't much to do with the settings. I spoke to some other people and they were having similar issues, and then in the latest update the dials and stuff were broke, which I don't know if that was an issue with the mod itself or there was an extra mod that I was running that gave some additional options. So I don't know where the issue lay with that really, but so I thought, well, do you know what, I'm going to swap it out. We spoke about it in the last episode. Generally feedback was, you know, if that truck's not working, just swap it out. So what we're going to be running from now is this Kenworth K100E from the Steam Workshop by a modder goes by the name of Mr. Overfloater. So we're running a 625 horsepower CAT engine in here, the 3408 V8 air start. This is not the quote-unquote final form. It was quite heavily level locked on a lot of parts, and being a Steam Workshop mod, it's not as easy to run through and change all the settings and stuff, so I just thought, you know what, I'll just leave it as it is. We'll spec it out as best as we can for now, and then as we become higher level we can bring it back to a workshop and we can you know, crack on and change it to the configuration that we want. So this will change eventually, but yeah, we've got the Dutton logo ranch still on there, Dutton Ranch logo still on there. We've got our fleet managers from Patreon still on there. If, by the way, you want to get your name on the truck, fleet manager tier on Patreon gets you that benefit. There's a link in the description for that. It's not required. You also, if you are on the I think it's owner operator tier off the top of my head, you get early access to this series as well. So yeah, basically if you want to support the channel, like I say, it's not optional, it's not obligatory. You know, I'll still put the content out and everything. It's just if people feel like they want to support the channel, it's greatly received, and there's the option to do that. So this is what we're running. I did also at the end of the last episode, we bought ourselves a manager. We did buy ourselves a new truck in here, which was a Mack, but given the issues, we sold that and we replaced it with another with a Kenworth. So the only issue we were having was we didn't have a agency unlocked to be able to do that. Now I have had a little look on Google, and there is an agency up here in Calera, I believe. I think it's off the top of my head, I believe it's, where is it gone? A bit easier to see. I believe from my memory, I think it's this one here is a agency for hiring drivers. So we're going to try and head up this way to Calera, and that way we can unlock the agency while we're up there and we can get that truck working for us. So I did have a little look in the jobs, and there was a job going up to Calera. Now pricing wise doesn't really matter because we're you know, we're all getting paid stupid money, so we may as well just look for what's going to give us the best looking ride, and I think it's going to be these clamshell buckets, and that's going up to Calera. So when we get closer, we'll go and pick this up now. All right, yeah, sorry about that. We were looking at forgot that we hadn't set up the mirrors and stuff. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to head over to the pickup location, and then we'll get loaded, and we'll head on all the way up to Calera. Yeah, I just thought this was using this for something a bit different. Like, if you know me, if you've been here for a while, you know generally, as a rule, I've always tended towards Peterbilts in my series. So something a little different to go with a Kenworth, and also something a little bit different to go with a carb over. Just being cautious with the speed because we do have a police car sitting on our tail. So yeah, I just thought, you know, something just a little bit different and more, you know, interesting. We are running a 13 speed on this as well. Again, not my preferred. I usually run 18 speed in fuller on every truck. I know there's people out there that would say, well, you know, if you're not doing a lot of hill climbing or whatever, that you don't necessarily need the 18 speed, but I just have come to like it, and that's the one I've driven the most, so I know the gear layout sort of off the top of my head pretty much. I hope you're all well. Hope you are enjoying the series so far. The feedback's been pretty good on this series. We've done a fair old bit. I think this is the episode 4 or 5, if I remember correctly. And we've already cleared about 10% of the map, so I think this is probably, in my mind, because it's a 1-to-1, I've sort of semi-thought that it would take a bit longer, but based on that, we've done 10% already, can't help but feel we might get done quicker than I expected, which is no big deal. There's plenty of other maps out there that we can move on to after this one's done. We're just coming up on the collection point here. It's all good. We did a live stream the other day on the Missouri map, the new DLC. That went pretty good. I was pleased with that. I was a bit anxious getting into it because I hadn't streamed for. I thought I hadn't streamed for sort of about 4 or 5 months, but when I looked back on my my YouTube studio, it had actually been more like 7 or 8 months that hadn't streamed for. So you always get that bit of like nervousness, if you like. But it was pretty good, went good. A load of people chatting, a load of good views and watch time and stuff, so it's all good. We're well cruising towards 500 subs as well. I think time of recording this, I think we're 439, I think, or 440, which is really good. I'm really pleased with that. I've said. I mean, if you've been with me for a long time, since the beginning, or even more than this episode, then you'll probably at some stage heard about why I started doing YouTube and stuff. And you know, I know to some people 450s like or 440s like not much. When you look at other people in the space that have got 10, 20, 30 plus thousand subs, you know, 450 to them might, or 440, sorry, to them might not seem like much. But I only ever started this as, you know, something to do. I like learning new things. I enjoy the games that I play, and I thought, well, maybe if I start a channel, I could make a small community of like-minded people that like the same games that I like, make some new friends, new people to play with, and yeah, 440 of you to be sub to me is wild, to be honest. So greatly appreciate that. It's a pretty nice mod, this one. We've gone with the old cream interior, wood panel dash. We've got our cat Dracula on the passenger there. Some charts. We've got a sleeping bed back there. Pretty nice. Yeah, like I said, when we get up to the right level, we can get a bigger sleeper on the back, and that's pretty much the plan. I think it's called the Aero Float or something like that, I think. Hopefully the job will still be there after these lights. It's a little something different for you guys anyway, because normally I'm already pulling into the loading yard, ready to go. We're gonna be in here, I think. Yeah, usually you guys don't really see this bit. Alrighty, let's see. Freight market. Oh, you are joking me. Yeah. So annoyingly, that job has gone. Right, what I'm gonna do, we're gonna cut here, and I'm gonna find another job that's going up to Calera, because we really need to go up that way. So I'll cut and then be back. Alright guys, we are back. Sorry about that. Right, we've got a job on. We are heading still up to Calera. We had to basically backtrack on ourselves. Head back up into sort of Zacato town. And we've got these concrete tubes going up to Calera. So yeah, we'll do that. We'll get locked in now. So I think the plan going forward, I've spoke about this as well before, is the money-wise, the money situation is with the jobs. So this profile isn't about easy money, it's not about hard money, it's not about being cheaty or anything like that. It's about just exploring the map, having a bit of fun, just a little different series because it's a one-to-one map and stuff. So I think the jobs pay ridiculously well on this. I've said this before from the beginning, and I say it again. So I think what we'll probably do is we'll leave it as is for now, and then we'll get a couple of drivers under our belt, and then we may have a look at switching down to or putting a GDC mod on, and that'll bring the cost of the jobs down greatly. I said it doesn't matter too much because it's not about, like, you know, this isn't so much of a financial challenge series like the debt-free owner-operator or anything like that. It was more about playing a different map that's not perhaps played that much on YouTube, and then exploring that map to 100%. So I'm not terribly totally bothered about it, but I do think the pricing is stupid. I did, like I said, I think I said this in the last episode, I did try and go on and manually change it, but they've password protected all the mods so that you can't make any changes, which is fair enough. You know, that's not a gripe, that's their mod. They put all the time and effort into it. Whoa. Oh, good. Too fast around the corner. Too fast around the corner, boys. It's not a good start to the day. a good start to the day. A duff job. And we crashed our new truck. It's all good. We're rolling now. Yeah, just 9 miles up to Calera. About 11 minutes worth. Being 11 minutes, I reckon we're probably mostly going to be on the freeway. Yeah, it's going to be like a little, if you like, a little sort of project truck, because we are, it's not in its final form. I want it different to this. What I will say is it's a lively little thing. Right, what we do want to do is we want to just get us straight and hop on the map real quick. So we're going all the way up here. We do, I think, want to take yeah, well, I think we'll do is it's a bit of a detour. We don't need to necessarily go that way. But instead of doing the delivery, then backtracking out, I think we'll go all the way up here. Unlock what I think is the recruitment agency, which is down there. So we'll have to sort of pull in, turn around, and then we'll make the delivery. Then we'll employ a driver right at the end. And that makes a lot of sense. And then we'll call it a time then. And then the next time out, we'll have a driver. And every episode, we'll keep an eye on what he or she is up to. Yeah, we'll just find the best driver that we can. You know, money's not really the object, so we'll get the one that's kind of best spec straight out of the gate. I'll just go through Lassen Glen. We should unlock that at any time now. But if you're not familiar with the Reforma guys, so this is Reforma Esterlon. They do Reforma Mexico, which is obviously just Mexico, and that's a free mod. And they do this, which is a free mod as well, but this is a standalone. The Reforma Mexico is an add-on to ATS, so that you can drive down to Mexico from the main maps. And they also do Reforma. Escapes me the name. Top of my head, I can't quite remember, but another free mod, which is Sierra Nevada. Sorry, Sierra Nevada. So that's another free mod, which is an add-on to the base maps. And then if you're part of their Patreon, which I am, they also do some other regions in Mexico, which are all add-ons to the map, the ATS map, so that you can run those in conjunction with your ATS states. They're really good mods. Some of the roads in Mexico are really quite challenging. From my understanding, I believe the guys that are behind the team, or the team behind Reforma, are Mexican, and so they know the area and stuff. It's a really good for a free map. It's really quite good. And it really does add on a ton of extra road to explore. And also you could do some really long jobs with that then. Especially if you're running any of the other mods. Like, the only map mods I run on... The only map mods I run on ATS are Pro Mods Canada and Reforma, the Reforma maps. But you can do some beastly long jobs on there. 2,500, 3,000 mile jobs. Which I'm sure if you weren't running GDC profile, then that's probably quite a good payday. Because they're pretty good paydays on GDC profile, so I imagine they're probably a few 100,000 if you're not running the GDC economy. Moreno Junction discovered. Yeah. She's a sprightly little thing, this old K100. Just nimble, just quick turner. Preemptively come over. It's not a turning we could take, it's blocked off. We don't want to go down there, we're straight ahead. We are 10 minutes out, 4 miles to go. A bit of cruise on. Cruising through at 65. One other thing actually I forgot to do, which I again had feedback about this. Last episode out, we got hit with a diversion right on the final turn to the delivery, and it was about a 10-minute diversion, which, you know, on a normal profile, you know, 10 minutes is nothing. It's like probably a minute 20, a minute 30, something like that. Because of the time scaling. On a one-to-one map like this, where 10 minutes, like, it's real time, so where we've got 9 minutes left on delivery, that's literally 9 minutes left real time. Can't really be having that, because obviously if they stick us on a huge diversion, and because it's a one-to-one, there's not a lot of side roads on some of the areas, so a lot of time that one turning is the one way to get to the delivery. So I sort of put it out. I didn't really know what to do. I was already running it pretty low at like 5% chance. And then Rusty said he turns it off because he finds them pretty frustrating, because they always seem to be at your last turn, which I agree with. I mean, I don't mind the diversion so much, but like I said, on a normal game profile, on the regular maps, the diversion is minuscule, really. Like, if you get a 10-minute diversion, like you said, it's a minute or so, a couple of minutes. And yeah, on this, I can't really afford to have 10-15 minute diversion. If I'm, you know, for example, I'm recording this episode now before work. I've got 35 minutes before I have to log on and start working, which, if I've timed it right, by the time you finish recording, we'll edit and... Oh, shit. Excuse me. Just too busy yapping away. Yeah, so I've got, like... basically, I've got 35 minutes before I've got to log on to it. And in my estimations, the way I've timed it is... that's enough time to record the episode. See, this is the thing, sorry, just to cut back. This is, if I wasn't going this way up to unlock the thing, that was a diversion then on the last turn. That turn was where we would have gone up to get to delivery, so again, we would have been diverted. But anyway, I've got 35 minutes now to record this, edit this and get the upload started before I've got to log on to my work computer. So if I'm, and that's quite often the case with these shorter episodes, like when I'm recording like Snow Runner, that's like an hour, or Derail Valley, I usually do those in the night where I've got much longer. But trucking generally, probably 70 to 80% of the time, I'm recording those in the morning before I need to log on to my work computer. The time is precious, and I can't risk having in my estimation, what is like a 20, 30, 40, about 35-minute job turning into a hour 10 job because I've had a huge diversion. So the long story short is, after we finished recording here, I meant to do it before we started, to be honest, but after we finished recording here, after some feedback from others, I'm gonna turn diversions off this profile. Let me just stop there, stop, thank you. Missed the turning. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I've come to the conclusion that diversions on this profile will be off. So that is a recruitment agency. Sweet. So if I pull in here, I should be able to back up and turn around, and then we can get off to the delivery. So yeah, I feel like that's going to be our best option. And then that covers us then. I know this profile at least. Because this profile is actually arguably easier to record for, because roughly, if I'm looking in the jobs list and the job says it's going to take 20 minutes, the job's going to take 20 minutes. Whereas if I'm looking in the jobs list and it says it takes an hour on my other profile, is that an actual real hour? Like, how quick is that? Because the time scaling is different depending on where you're driving. It's like on the base, if you're driving through a city, I think it's like a 1 to 6. Like a 1 to 6 time zone. Whereas if you're on the freeway, it's like a 1 to 3 or something like that. So, or it might be the other way around actually. Maybe 1 to 6 in the city, and then I think 1 to 20 on the freeway. So it's something like that. But basically, it's hard to exactly plan because of the variable time scaling. You don't 100% know how long it's going to take you. So that's all good. Yeah, that's what's going to happen going forward. Right after we finish this job, I'm going to turn that off in the settings so there'll be no more detours. And then, because like I said, as highlighted there, if we weren't going the detour to find the we weren't detouring to try and find the recruitment agency, we would have been hit on a diversion on our last turn-in, which is frustrating to say the least. So we'll turn that off, save ourselves the headache as we turn this roundabout. That's one thing I am enjoying, is there's a lot more roundabouts on this than I expected there to be. I think this is an entirely fictional place, but it's based loosely on various areas from the States and Mexico, so it's a bit of a combination of places. But I didn't expect there to be as many roundabouts as there are. Happy days, this is our delivery site up here. Looking for the left turn, so I'm going to come over left. No, we're not going to come over left because it's a a left round road anyway. And then we're going to go across the rail yard. And we need to go dead ahead. Need to hurry up because we're literally on the track. Stop, please. Thank you. The Johnson and Smith Railroad Construction. Oh. Parking over here somewhere. I'm going to skip it. There we are. We're just down there. I think we pull up. We are not too bad, guys. So, let's unload the cargo. That was not a bad park job, if I do say so myself. 13 miles driven, 20 minutes taken, fuel consumed 2.7 gallons. Gone up some levels as well. We're going to, I think, the long distance doesn't really matter so much. What I think I'm probably going to do is I might start clearing off some hazmat jobs or hazmat licenses. So that's going to do us for the job. Now, we did cross a recruitment agency, so we'll get on to that. In Calera. We've only got one driver coming out of Calera, Kathleen A. So she's 0.8. She's $2,040 for delivery. Holy moly. Holy sh... Oh my god. I don't know if we can afford a driver, to be honest. So her wage is $2,040 per delivery plus $109,982.57 a mile. What are the chances that she's not going to be bringing in that money? Right, I'm going to hire the driver. I'm going to take her on, give her a truck, and then it may well be we end up having to bin off the driver idea, because $109,000 a mile, that is insane. Because put it this way, the jobs I've been doing, I've been sort of, let's have a little look. There's my logbook. Career progress, delivery log. Right, so let's have a look here. The jobs I've been doing, so this is 13 miles, pay $100,430. We won't worry about those because they were the two that we did before we had a truck. This was 15. Christ. Yeah, I don't think we can do a driver, to be honest. Oh, that's annoying. Because basically, if she does if she does one of these jobs, so she does 8 miles, she's going to be getting paid $880,000, and she's only going to be bringing in like $100. Right. Well, we've done it now. We've took her on. Let's just see what happens. Man, that is. I don't really want to do her on long distance or on hazardous. Yeah, man, that has stunned me. So yeah, we'll leave it. It may well end up being a huge regret because we may end up making negative money on their jobs. But we'll leave it for now. We've took her on. We may end up regretting it. I'm just gonna look on the bank a minute, because if there's every chance that she's gonna ruin us. We can borrow 420,000 at the moment. So if she does a job that takes all of our money out, then we can sack her and take a loan to cover like fuel expenses and stuff like that. But that is insane. But that is going to do us for this episode, guys. That has been a whirlwind episode. I hope you liked the new track. Let me know down below in the comments what you think. We will turn her off here. Let me know what you think about the driver's wages. And yeah, we'll catch you in the next one. If you've enjoyed the episode, hit the like button, subscribe if you're not already, and thoughts, feedback, tips, trips, comments, whatever you like down in the comments below. We'll catch you in the next one. Take care.